everyone, Valerie here. So I've been nesting like crazy these past 2 weeks, and it all started with decluttering and reorganizing every single cabinet in my kitchen. So I went ahead and recorded most of it, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So here is a declutter slash organize with me, speeding through the many hours of work that I did that day. Hope you guys enjoy. Be sure. Okay, so I got started by taking everything out of this cabinet and putting it onto the counter. Once it was on the counter, I decided what I wanted to keep and how I was going to store it. In this particular instance, I'm figuring out how to store all of our Tupperware. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the things back into the cabinet the way that I want them. Here you can see that I'm adding my rice pot to this cabinet because we do use it often, as well as my strainers and mixing bowls and our large pots and skillets and small saucepans as well. Now on to the plates and cups cabinet, which is right above our dishwasher. I'm taking everything out, and then I'm going to wipe down the shelves and decide on what we're going to keep and get rid of. And now I'm going to start putting things back into the shelf that we're going to keep. Here I'm taking out some things from the dishwasher so I can decide whether we're going to keep them and where we're going to store them. I pretty much kept the same layout as I had before, just with much less items in the cabinet. Basically only the items that we need. And I put the most used items on the bottom shelf and the least used items up on the top shelf. Next I moved on to our silverware drawer, and I'm taking everything out, and then I'm going to clean it out with some spray and then start reorganizing everything back into it. Here you can see it's all nice and clean, putting our silverware back away. Keeping our most used items in this drawer. And now moving on to the next drawer. This is where I used to keep our tea and knife sharpener and such. But I'm going to change this drawer into our least used utensils, like our rolling pin, our baster, some knives and other things. These things we do use, but not on a daily basis. And the reason I did that is because if you saw there, it didn't have a handle on the drawer, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to get into. So now I'm deciding on what to do with these things left on the counter. I'm thinking I'm going to declutter them, and I'm putting them all together so that I can get rid of them. Next up is the pantry right over our stove, and this is where I basically keep all of our baking and cooking items. Cleaning it out, and then for some reason I decided to clean out the toaster of all the crumbs, and I think I had in mind to put all of our small appliances in this top shelf above the stove and move our baking items. Here you can see one of my kids getting in the camera. He loves the camera. So here you can see I'm putting in some small appliances, trying to clear the counter to make the kitchen look more spacious and nicer. But it didn't work out. And I was thinking in my mind, we pretty much use this toaster every single day, so it's really going to be more of a hassle for me or my husband or my oldest son to get the toaster down every single day for someone to use it, rather than just leave it out on the counter where it has easy access for everyone to use, even the little kids. This is where I keep our small appliances, and I was still keeping in mind that I wanted the appliances above the stove for some reason. I ended up not keeping it there. The camera did end up dying, but the small appliances went back into that bottom cabinet, and the baking items did go back into that top cabinet above the stove. So I'm taking the spray and I'm cleaning out this bottom cabinet. And I'm considering on what to do. This is our spice cabinet. So now I'm in the cabinet right under our sink, and this is where we keep our cleaning supplies and our plastic plates and utensils. I also keep my vases and candles down here, so I'm taking everything out. And I thought to use these large bins kind of to have easy access to the space that's deep in that cabinet, since it's a corner cabinet and we don't have a Lazy Susan in there because of all the piping. So I figured this would be an easier way to be able to have access to everything without me having to physically climb into the cabinet to reach the things way in the back. So in this bin, I'm keeping all of our plastic forks, spoons, knives, cups, and plates and bowls, and behind that I'm putting our different serving platters so that when we have guests it will be easy to access these things that I need. I'm trying to fit in the napkins there, and now I'm going to fold up our placemats and place them in that little wicker basket. That way it's right up in front and easy access for all the kids to get their placemat whenever it's time for them to eat. And I'm apparently looking for something here that I could not find for whatever reason. I think it was a zip tie to close up that napkin bag, and I eventually did find something to use to close it up. Lastly, I moved on to this cabinet that's above the refrigerator, and it's very seldomly open because I can't reach it. Short people problems. I always keep the cereal, crackers, and cookies on top of the refrigerator for some reason. And now that everything's nice and organized, I'm showing you all the drawers and cabinets. Here you can see everything is nice and neat. Here's the pots and pans cabinet with the Tupperware in there as well. Nothing's overflowing, everything has its place. Next to that, I have our guest pantry area with all of the serving trays, paper and plastic utensils, etc. Behind that, I have a crock pot, and in front I have the placemats for the family to use. In the back here I have another crock pot, and right in front I have a bin with our most used chemicals and cleaning items. The kids know not to mess with that, and they're old enough to not get into it. Here I reorganized the plates and cups pantry, and there's even some extra space. Here you can see I put all of our baking items back in that top cabinet, and we're just used to it there and it works well. This is the spice cabinet, and in the very top I keep our least used spices and our seldomly used spices, each in one of those blue bins. On top of the microwave you see I have our eggs and a bowl with garlic and things. This is where I moved our tea to, and our garbage bags as well. And then under that I have our small appliances. These are our popcorn maker, can opener, hand mixer, grill, blender, etc. Underneath that I have our baking things, measuring cup as well. I did end up adding in the small measuring bowls in there as well. And then above there I ended up putting some seldomly used items on top of the in the pantry above the fridge. Here you can see all the items that I've decided to declutter or to sell. A lot of this was multiples, and decided that we don't need to have so many multiples of all these things. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.